Welcome back to Project Rubicon. Today I'm going to cover what I keep in my range bag. So in this video, I'll first walk through the bag itself, and then I will cover the individual items that live inside of it whenever I go to the range. So starting off here, the bag that I use, this one's called Citadel. I honestly don't remember where I got this, but it's actually worked out really well. It's kind of a tougher canvasy material, but been really happy with it, and I've used it for years and had almost no issues with it. So in terms of the bag itself, one thing that I kind of like about this is that, you know, on the zippers, they actually have some stuff if you need to lock it, you can, which honestly I don't really use a whole lot, but again, it's just nice to have it if I need it. So going through it, there's one side pocket here, another on this side, and then in the middle section there is a bigger center compartment to the bag. On this side pocket, it's really nice. It has some, you know, dividers which you can keep magazines or ammo or whatever, and then in the main part of the side pocket, it has plenty of room to keep whatever kind of stuff you need. The main pocket is really nice. It's really kind of stiff and holds its form really well, but you know, again, being kind of a large rectangle that's pretty deep, you can fit a lot in here, and it's nice because it's got kind of the double zipper. You can kind of just pull it whenever you're ready to close it or open it. And then inside here, I don't really use these a whole lot, but you know, they have a couple extra pockets here with some Velcro if you need to store things. So it's got, you know, ample storage capacity. This bag did come with another actual insert in here that had some like fleece lining on the inside of it for probably like a handgun or whatever. I actually took that out, and I had been using it for a while when I would travel. If I needed, you know, to keep a handgun in my bag, I could just throw it in there and then slide it into like the laptop compartment of a backpack or something. So that doesn't stay in this bag, but again, I still do use it from time to time. And then this other side pocket, again, nice and deep, so there's tons of kind of storage in here to keep your gear. And then there is a smaller fourth compartment on the side here with a couple of just smaller pockets as well. So if you need to put like a Sharpie or, you know, whatever in here, you can do so. The one other thing before I get into the specifics of my my range gear, I do also keep a first aid kit in my bag with me. So this one stays in my range bag. It's a pretty basic first aid kit, and again, probably got it off of Amazon or something like that. But in this, I have pretty basic first aid, you know, Band-Aids, antiseptic, stuff like that. I do carry a few other items, which I'll get into in a second from a first aid perspective. But, you know, again, just a kind of general kit is usually more than fine. But just make sure that whenever you go to the range, this kind of thing either stays in your bag, or if it has any of these kind of loops to it, that you kind of clip it to your bag, so you always have first aid with you if you need it, and you can kind of deploy it if needed. So that's the basics of the bag itself. So in a second here, I'll get into the rest of the items inside of my bag. All right, so what's in my bag itself, I'll probably try to walk through this in terms of the three different compartments. So starting on the side, there is actually a fourth smaller zipper compartment that the only thing I'll really keep in there is paperwork. You know, for instance, sometimes if I travel with my SBR, I'll need to bring like the 5320 form with me, so I'll throw that in there. If there's other just general paperwork or things like that I need to keep with one of my firearms or with me, I'll use that so they don't get ripped or damaged. But that's really all I use that kind of smaller side zipper pocket for. The little bit larger side zipper pocket. The first thing that I'll have is this. This is pretty old, honestly, and I don't even remember where I got it, but it's just a set of Allen keys. So these are really useful, especially these sizes for adjusting like optics, or if I have certain kind of attachments and stuff on any of my rifles or whatever. This is nice to use to just quickly adjust them, so I don't have to dig around through my truck to try to find like a toolkit or whatever. So again, this is pretty beat up, pretty basic, but definitely having some Allen keys with you will save you a lot of time and frustration if you need to adjust something on the fly. The next thing I'll have with me is this kind of tape. It's kind of like hockey tape. And I use this for different applications, one of which is some of the magazines that I have a little bit smoother finish on them. So, over time that'll get a little bit grimy or, may wear out a little bit. So it's nice just to have this kind of big roll of replacement tape with me. I can just take it off at the range, reapply it, or if like there's something with wiring that's not where it should be, I can kind of just wrap it temporarily even till I can get home and work on it, so it doesn't kill my whole day at the range. So having something like this with you is definitely super useful and something that I use a lot. The next thing that I'll have with me is thumbtacks. So I just keep them in this little kind of cardboard box. But, depending on the types of ranges that you go to, some of them will have clips and things like that you can use. Some of them, outdoor ranges, things like that, may require you to kind of pin up your target. So having a box of thumbtacks with you obviously helps with that. So again, something small detail that I think, if you miss can obviously be pretty annoying, especially if there's not somewhere you can like stick the target onto or whatever. So definitely just buy a bag of these or whatever and just throw them in your bag just to have them with you. The last couple of things that I keep in that side pocket are Ear Pro. So I have kind of two things with me. The first one are these. These are Impact Sport. They're the Ear Pro, where high decibel blocks it out, but you can also hear people talking at lower decibels. These things are really old and honestly pretty beat up. I've had them for a long time and I'm probably due to upgrade them soon, but they've worked kind of flawlessly. I've had minimal to no issue with these Impact Sport the Ear Pro. So I don't think these are outrageously expensive either, and I don't recall where I got them from, but they probably have them at most retailers and sporting goods stores. So if you need a kind of quality set of these, this is a great place to start and work your way up from there. And again, just the ability to talk and not have to kind of take the Ear Pro off is also really nice. So these were definitely a great purchase and something that I've gotten a lot of good use out of. Now, the other thing I'll have too is this, which is their Walker's foam earplugs. A million companies make these. Again, this was an Amazon purchase, and these are honestly pretty inexpensive. But, I'll go shooting with friends all the time, so it's nice just to have a set of these with me that I can give them. There's always people I found at the range too who either forget theirs, or again, they have a couple friends with them and they don't have ear protection to shoot with. So, it's nice to help people out occasionally too with this kind of stuff. So, buy a kind of big bag of these and I just throw it in the side pocket, and whenever I need them, I can just get them out. So good thing to have. On the other side of the bag, in the other side pocket, I usually have all of my iPro. So I have a couple different things. The first of which is in this, these are just kind of cheaper, clear shooting glasses, which are adjustable. So if I'm going to be like bench rest shooting during the day covered, these are nice to have. The lenses are kind of dirty, but just something really basic. Again, I think these are like obviously ballistic rated, but you want to just have something reliable with you that you can just keep in your bag. But I definitely think it's nice to have the clear lenses if you are bench rest shooting. And then if I'm going to be not covered or moving around a little bit. I have these Oakley M-frame glasses. I got this case, which is nice, off of, I believe I got this from Amazon. And then the glasses themselves are tinted, so they're kind of polarized, which is really nice because it blocks out some of the sun if you're shooting. It's kind of rubberized on the sides. But these are really sturdy glasses. Really kind of enjoyed wearing these. They're really comfortable too. So this, in combination with something like this, will do you just fine while you're shooting. And then again, I always keep these with me too. These are really, really cheap, just clear lenses if I have more than one person with me, and they need a set of iPro, I can just give them these. So again, these are pretty compact. They fit in the side pocket really well, and I just leave it in my bag in case I need them. So for the main pocket of the bag, I will typically keep my firearm in there if it fits. So if I'm shooting a handgun, for instance, or if I have a couple handguns with me, normally that's big enough to put both of them in there. If I have like handgun mags or like just magazines for one of the guns that I'm shooting, these also usually fit pretty well in that larger pocket. So I'll stick these in there too. I do keep the first aid kit that I mentioned at the beginning of the video in that main pocket also, primarily just because that pocket when I'm at the range is always open. So if I need it quickly, I know that I can get to it quickly and I'm not going to have to dig through a bunch of stuff to get to it. So that lives in that main pocket in the bag. The only other thing that I keep with it is this, which is a cat tourniquet. I mentioned this in one of my prior videos, but this one stays in my range bag all the time. And I keep this outside of the first aid kit because, again, if I need it really quickly, I don't want to have to go through an extra zipper and dig through it to get this out. I just want to be able to use it very quickly. And I have these two kind of cheap rubber bands on it that I could just break if I need to use it, but it keeps it nice and compact inside of my bag. So if you're going to shoot, definitely throw one of these in your bag or get one. Really good thing to have with you. The only other stuff that then would typically be in my bag is like ammo for whatever guns I'm shooting. I'll typically try to throw that either in one of the side pockets or in the main pocket. Other odds and ends like a hat, stuff like that. But the bulk of what I covered here today are things that always live in my range bag and I hardly ever take out. And if I do, I make sure to put it back. And that ensures that I can have, just good shooting sessions and that I have all of the, utilitarian and safety stuff with me that I know that I'll need while I'm shooting. So anyway, if you're trying to build out a range bag or upgrade yours, I hope this video is helpful. If you enjoy this video and the content on the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you'd like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you all in the next one.